Welcome in to Friday Fire Facts, brought to you by Blackhawk Fire and Security. This is episode 3, and today we're going to be talking about family fire safety, especially involving our children. This is going to be broken down into 2 topics, and the first is going to be what we need to teach our children so that they can be safe and have the knowledge to do what needs to be done in any situation involving a fire. The second topic will be what we as adults and guardians need to be doing in order to keep our family safe and to plan and be prepared for anything that might happen. So let's jump into that. Most of what we're going to discuss today, many of us have heard it before. We've heard it our whole lives, but it's important to be reminded and to go over this with children since they may not have heard it and they need to know these things to stay safe. The first is going to be stop, drop, and roll. We learned this in elementary school, and it stays true today. When you stop, drop, and roll, you're removing some of the oxygen, and the heat can dissipate on the surface below. And as we learned last week, any fire must have fuel, oxygen, and heat to stay ignited. So if we can remove some of the oxygen, some of the heat, that's what causes that fire to go out. The second thing will be, in any fire, stay low. Smoke and heat both rise, and most injury and death are not caused by the fire itself, but from the heat and from smoke inhalation. So if you can teach children to stay low and crawl out of the house, that's going to keep them safer than just running out of the house. Next, it's important to teach children the dangers of hot surfaces and any fire, such as a fire pit, that you might be around outside. We take for granted that children would just understand the danger behind these things, but it's important for an adult to talk to them about it and let them know what the dangers could be. Lastly, this is one that I didn't even really think about, but in any time that a child is dealing with something that they are not used to or have not dealt with, many times they get scared. And in a fire, what a lot of children can do when they get scared is hide. In this situation, the firemen can't find them, the parents can't find them, maybe they're hiding in a closet or under the bed. It's important to teach your children that in case of a fire, they do not need to hide, but they need to make sure that an adult can find them and get them out of the fire safely. Now it's time to talk about our responsibilities as adults. The first is one that I think we all know, but I think we take it for granted. We need to have the correct amount of smoke alarms throughout our home. You need to have one in each sleeping area and one directly outside of each sleeping area. Also, don't install one within 10 feet of a cooking area. When we do this, we have false alarms. Then, when that happens a lot, we start to avoid anytime the fire alarm goes off, we don't really listen to it. So you want to make sure to install it in a place that you're not going to get a lot of false alarms. You want to make sure that you're replacing that battery every year. Some of them have lithium batteries now, so they last about 10 years. But every smoke alarm needs to be replaced every 10 years. That's about their lifespan, and you want them to operate properly. So make sure that you're swapping those out every 10 years and batteries every year. Also, you're going to want to make a plan. This one is one that most people do not do because they think common sense will get us out of the house. But when an emergency happens, a lot of the time we're not thinking straight. So you want to sit down beforehand and make a plan with your family of what will happen in case of a fire. Draw out a plan of the house, what every room looks like, how the house is built, and how you would best get out of the house safely and quickly. Make sure your children know this plan. Make sure that if you have a designated spot outside to meet, that they know where that is. And in case of fire, that takes one step out of your thought process during an emergency. So make sure that you try to spend a few minutes, it doesn't take long, to make that plan to get out of the house safely. Lastly, what we want to talk about are lighters and matches. I don't know about you guys, but when I was young, and many of my friends found fire to be fascinating. We want to teach our children that lighters, matches, any source of flame, that there is some danger that comes along with that. We need to make sure that we keep lighters and matches at a safe distance away from children. Keep them in cabinets up high to where they can't get them easily. If they find one, teach them that it's best to bring it to you. Make sure that they cannot easily access anything that's going to cause a flame or a fire. To go along with that, it's important as adults that we don't play with fire in front of children. Don't play with lighters or matches where children can see, because they will imitate you. That's what children do. They look up to adults and they imitate what we do. So make sure that you are treating fire with respect as well, so that children can see that it's important and that they need to respect it. Now it's time for our local business of the week, and this week is The Grind Coffee and More, which is owned by Thomas and Sonia Franks. Also, their two daughters help them run this, and it is opening up tomorrow at 8 a.m. All four of the family members are volunteers with the Rogersville Fire Department and have put in many years of service with that, so feel free to go out and help them tomorrow. I understand that fire and life safety is not always the most entertaining topic to listen to, but it is a much needed one. So if you know of anyone that you could share this with, please share it. Go and like the page. That way more people can learn about this and be a little bit safer in the future. Thank you all.